Hello everyone, back with a paper tier list today. Sure you all know what paper is, so we're just going to get straight into it. First of all, we have book paper. Obviously, paper that's in a book, it's got printed on. This paper probably depends on the quality of the book, to be honest. Some books feel like the paper's a bit flimsy in it, but others it's nice, and it kind of has a nice smell to it usually as well. Say book paper, strong start in B. And we have bullet journal paper. This is like that paper that's kind of got dots all over it. Well, not all over it, in like a sort of grid pattern almost. Um, yeah, for me, it's not very useful, I guess. It's like the dots on it aren't really helpful. It's not really lined. It's not dots. It's sort of like you can do what you want with it. I guess is the plus side. But for me, not my favourite. It's an E. Then we have cardboard. Um, this is very much debatably probably not paper, but you know what? We'll rank it anyway. Cardboard. Actually, you know what? Cardboard is not paper. F tier. You're not paper, mate. You're cardboard. Cardstock. I guess this is just what I'd call just card. Kind of like thick paper. Again, debatable if it's paper. It's more paper than cardboard is, but I think this can class as paper. Sort of quite thick, and yeah, usually don't have like any lines on it or anything. It's just usually plain. I'd say it's fine. I'd C. Then we have construction paper. This is kind of again like thicker paper. Kind of like almost like card like again, but thicker. Usually comes in colours. You can see on this it's got a lot of different colours. Used for mainly sort of arts and craft, I guess. But yeah, it's nice and colourful. Bit of a change from the normal just white paper. And A. Then we have graph paper. Classic in for like maths. Got your like boxes on it with your little individual dividers. It's good for drawing graphs on it. Good for doing axis. You get nice even divides and stuff. Does remind me of maths though, which is certainly weren't my favourite thing to do. But graph paper, it has its use. A C. Then so we've got notebook paper, college ruled, so sort of narrow lines, I guess, basically. Um, yeah, this useful, good for writing notes on, obviously, as it is a notebook. Um, yeah, I like lined paper, sort of. It's just it helps you divide things. It's really good for just writing things down, as it keeps you writing straight, keeps stuff divided, helps it make it a bit neater. I'd say a B. Then we have again a notebook with sort of wide ruled lines. So you're basically getting less lines on each page, but you've got more room in each line. I guess it depends what you're wanting. Are you wanting to fit more in, or are you wanting it to look bigger writing, more readable? I'd say the difference between those is personal preference. I'll put them both in B. Then we have parchment paper, or I guess greaseproof paper. I'd probably call this. I kind of used it in cooking and stuff like that. Set helps like stop stuff sticking, stop like greasy things happening. Yeah, again useful. Easy to rip accidentally, I do find. So yeah, it can be annoying, but useful. Let's see. We have printer paper. This one for me, it's kind of just plain white paper. But it has negative connotations to me because just like using printers is annoying. Like printers are so awkward to use. They like disconnect. They don't print. They jam. All that stuff. So printer paper. I suppose the paper itself isn't bad, but it's it's the thing that it's used with is bringing it down. A D. Then we have rice paper. Uh, first one in here that you're meant to eat, which is interesting for sure. Um, Again, debatably not paper. I mean, it is called rice paper, I guess, but it's not more traditional paper. Rice paper, though, yeah, quite good. Make like spring rolls with it, I guess. I think uses rice paper, stuff like that. It's like really thin, kind of see-through almost. Don't have much of a taste, I don't think. Usually, it's made for putting other stuff in. I'd say a good option. You can eat it. It's interesting. Then we have sandpaper. This for me is an interesting type of paper, used very differently to most of the others. Instead of like writing on it or using it, you're rubbing it against something to smooth it out. And yeah, I do like sandpaper. It's quite interesting, brown. It's got like a nice texture. You can get different grits, obviously. Like some have really make stuff really smooth. Some are for taking off bigger things. Yeah, very useful for sure. And interesting. Sandpaper for me, it's an S tier paper. Then we have sketchbook paper. Tends to sort of just be blank paper again, but in like a binder or booklet, whatever you see here. Usually for like drawing on. So it's usually, quite decent quality paper. It's like a bit thicker. I think it's nicer for drawing on. Whereas when you're just writing, you can get away with not the best paper, to be honest. Although it does feel nicer if it's better. So a sketchbook, a B. Then I have sticky notes. Usually colourful. You can see here this one's yellow. Quite a small piece of paper usually, and then I've like some glue at the top or something, and you stick them on things. I think these are quite good. They're good for like reminders and stuff. You like stick one on your fridge or something saying like, don't forget to get cat food or whatever, or milk or whatever you need. Something like that. Leave a note to someone. I used to use these sometimes when I were like revising for exams. I'd write some sticky notes or like something I couldn't understand and just stick it somewhere I'd see it whilst we're getting about my day and sort of hopefully learn it passively. Don't know if that worked much, to be honest, but it was something I did. I think, yeah, sticky notes, solid A. Then we have tissue paper. This is like really, really thin, sort of super crinkly paper. Again, usually colourful, used more for sort of like arts and craft again rather than sort of paper usage. Yeah, it's really thin, rips really easily. The colours are nice, but yeah, it's hard to use, I think. I'd say a D. The colours are nice. Then we have toilet paper. Again, different type of paper, not used for writing on. I think you all know what toilet paper is used for. Yep, again, a very useful one. I guess if you have like a bidet, you probably don't need toilet paper anymore. But certainly most people in the UK don't have a bidet, so they're stuck with toilet paper. And yeah, it gets the job done. It's certainly got its use. I'd say an A. Very useful, but a bit boring. Then we have, last up, watercolour paper. This is like a different type of paper again. I think it's made in like a slightly different way. It's kind of like almost like ancient sort of papyrus type. I think like really thick and kind of rigid and not like normal paper almost. But because of that, I don't think it's the most satisfying. It feels a bit rough to me and not nice. Whereas, yeah, it's just not my favourite. I'll put it D. Okay, that was my paper tier list. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Any suggestions for tier list, put them in the comments as well. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.